All right. So let's get started. I appreciate everyone hopping in this a little impromptu this afternoon, but I got inspired this morning. So my friend Henok over here held his own little AMA on the Knock Nation channel. And by the way, if you are not a member of that on Telegram as well, I'm sure we'll drop in after the show here a link to go over there and join that community as well. I think these guys have done an amazing job of supporting us and leaning into the vision, and really what I said the other day, and being a great member of a decentralized community. And that usually means instead of saying win something, it means we're doing something. And Enoch and his team have been amazing at that and great supporters, and he has lots of initiatives rolling. But one that they talked about this morning was how do we make ourselves look different in terms of the Apollo community, and especially in these challenging financial times? Like what attracts people to projects when there's nothing else to lean on, and that's utility and something that can differentiate. So I'm not going to take his thunder. I want you to kind of give that presentation again here, if you could, Enoch, and then we'll maybe open up for some questions to dive a little bit deeper into it. But the mic is yours.
Thank you for the floor, and I just want to thank you guys. Thank the team, and give you guys honor for the countless hours, the investment of your time, your vision, your leadership, your track record. We, as a crypto-based community, are better for you guys entering and leading in this space. So thank you all so much for the community you fostered. Okay, alrighty, let's.
Hey, sorry, Enoch. It's weird. I'm getting like that garbled noise again. Is everyone else hearing that, or is it just me?
Marcelino, how do we sound, my guy?
I don't hear. Everything's good on my end.
Okay. Anyone having any issues?
No, everything sounds good.
All right, let's get to work.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're fine. So Matt, really want to appreciate you. Just want to give you guys thanks and honor. The big idea right now, y'all, is where are you going to hide? Where are you going to run? Where are you going to go? Bitcoin is in a free fall. The stable coins are falling and under assault. And there's a lot of money in crypto that's been liquidated for sure, but there's also a lot of money that's been looking to get in. A lot of smart money, investors, institutional money that's been waiting to get in. It's a lot harder to lose investment dollars when you're buying at the bottom. And so a lot of these organizations, institutions, high net worth investors have been patiently waiting. They don't need the money to pay rent or mortgage next month, so they have no problem waiting. And so as they've been waiting for the market to maybe correct or engage in a dip, those funds are going to go somewhere. Those monies, those investments are going to go somewhere. And this is my opinion. This is our team's opinion here at the HenokCrypto Corporation. But we have every reason to believe that future dollars, future investments, whether it's from the janitor at the local elementary school or the institution on Wall Street, that money is looking to go and find a home in the right project. And what do I mean by the right project or the right crypto investment? I think that money is going to look for incredible leadership teams. I think they're looking for utility. I think they're looking for marketing. MJ, you want to add something?
No.
Okay, just making sure. Feel free to cut in anytime. This is
sure.
House.
Of course. It's our house.
Yeah. So the bottom line is this: I believe true utility. I believe the best utility. I believe the most engaging, attractive utility is going to be profit generation. And this is where I want to engage with you guys and let you know what me and my team are doing. We are working on something that we are going to gift to the Apollo Inu community. And that is my platform, the Apollo Inu Show. Many of you guys saw that I launched the Apollo Inu Show this last week. It's a platform, it's a YouTube show in its current state right now. And it exists to highlight and showcase primarily Apollo, but also, secondarily, the artists and creatives that I personally love and enjoy and appreciate. And so this week we nominated Neem, as kind of the, Knock Nation Apollo Inu Show personality creative of the week that we want to get behind. Someone that I personally reached out to in my life, in my city, got on the phone with, sat down, had a face-to-face conversation. This is a person who's never been involved in crypto necessarily, but I shared with him Apollo, like I do with many, many people in my actual life. I hope you're doing the same, and just let them know, hey, there's an opportunity here for you to make some crypto money here. And so my platform is going to continue to go and get more. I've got more artists and creatives that I'm reaching out to, and just engaging when it comes to this platform. And here's where I want to highlight a mechanism that we have designed at the HenokCrypto Corporation to help grow Apollo. And that is revenue generation, profit generation. So what makes American Idol and what makes Shark Tank and America's Got Talent, what makes these platforms so lucrative is the content itself, the shows, the episodes, the personalities, the stories that they're highlighting. Well, millions of people watch these shows, and advertisers pay a lot of money for those eyeballs and that attention. I want to build a show that attracts millions of eyeballs. In the same way that American Idol, Shark Tank is doing, I want to highlight and showcase creators, artists, and in so doing, generate advertisement revenue. Now, I'm not interested in making a profit, and this is where the Apollo Inu community comes in. Our plan, and here's what we are going to do, and here's what you will see us do, is we're going to do the same thing with that platform that I did with my platform. We're going to grow it to thousands upon thousands, and eventually one day millions of people watching the show on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. We're going to blow up on social media, just like we did with my platform. I was in the proverbial cubicle just a few months ago, and now I'm here doing this full time with the team behind me. And so we're going to do the same exact thing, but this time we're going to generate ad revenue, and we're going to take the profit. So I've got overhead. I've got to pay for some camera crews, production, equipment. Anytime we ever go on site or fly out to meet with these individuals and contestants, we'll cover our overhead with a portion of the revenue, but we're going to take the profit, their side of revenue, and we're going to buy Apollo Inu token from the open market. And not only is that going to help the charts as we buy with profit from the show, 100% of any profit. Again, this is me donating. This is our corporation donating. This is our gift to the Apollo Inu community. Not only are we going to buy token, we're not going to buy it and hang on to it. We're not going to buy it and put it in the Henok wallet. We're going to buy it, and we're going to send all the tokens to the burn address. So not only are we buying, and we're gonna burn. So buy and burn. So two things are happening at the same time. We buy, green candle, and we burn, removing token from circulation. As you know, as tokens are removed from circulation, supply is constrained. The value of the assets, the value of the remaining tokens in circulation appreciate. We're going to do that over and over. So when Google is paying us, for revenue, right, because of all the eyeballs we bring to that YouTube channel, profit goes to buying token, burning token. When we have companies and corporations that have already approached me and my platform, the Henok platform, people that want to, get connected to me and the brand and the business that I'm building, I can now divert them and direct them because I've told almost every organization no thank you at this point. But now I can start taking that, those relationships and those connections and drive them over to Apollo, generate profit, buy token off the market, off of Uniswap, using Uniswap, I should say, and burn token. If you watch what Apple has done, historically speaking, I'm talking about the corporation Apple, they've engaged in stock buyback, meaning they buy their own stocks, and it's a constraint on the supply, which allows the remaining stocks in circulation to appreciate in value. When you look at real estate, right, a neighborhood is being developed. I'm in Dallas, and it is hot here, y'all, and both literally and economically speaking, as it relates to real estate. A neighborhood will be built, and there's only a certain number of houses that can fit, inside of this neighborhood. Well, once all 100 of those houses have been purchased in that neighborhood, guess what? The next guy or gal that wants to buy that, buy a house in that neighborhood has to pay a premium because there's a limit on how much supply is available to them. Therefore, the asset appreciates in value. It's really the exact same concept there, y'all. Is we are going to generate revenue using the Apollo Inu show. We're going to take the profit, and we're going to use the profit to buy token and burn token. This is my gift to the community. I'm not looking to take a dime from that show. I've got overhead, I've got employees I got to pay, because they're producing the content and all that, and we're paying for some, props and locale. So outside of overhead, the rest belongs to the community. So when you hear me talking about rolling up our sleeves, I'm not going to sit here on the side of a road like a panhandler with their hand out. Nothing wrong with panhandlers. God bless you. Want nothing but the best for you in your life. But as for me and my household, like as for me and our company, like we're not going to sit here and hope to God that Matt Johnson and this incredible dev team, as great as they are, we're not just going to sit on the sidelines. We're going to roll up our sleeves. We're going to get to work. I'm going to use my creativity, my ingenuity. And guess what? I'm going to use my platform, whether it's Twitter, whether it's, TikTok. Well, TikTok won't actually allow me to talk about crypto. I've gotten banned legitimately 7 times, 3 different accounts. But YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, we're going to leverage my relationships. I've got connections, as y'all see and know, in Hollywood, Miami, and other places. And Odell Beckham Jr. follows me. We talk. And so we're going to leverage I'm going to leverage every ounce of what I've got to help my project. This is I'm not a developer. I've never been on the team, not on staff, not compensated in any way, shape, form, or fashion. But I own this because, like Matt talks about all the time, this is decentralization. And I'm not going to sit here and just hope that everything works out. I'm here to get to work and put my team to work. And there's a lot of money on the other side of all this for all of us. So I just want to encourage you guys with this. Let's participate. Let's contribute. Number 1, run from negativity. I mean, y'all know who I am. Y'all know my brand and what I stand for. Negativity, for decades in my life, negativity has gotten me nowhere. Then all of a sudden, I started engaging in positivity, and now I've got my own corporation, 3 full-time employees, 11 part-time. We're reaching people that I've never, people that I've seen on TV that are my heroes. And that all began when I made a decision to engage in positivity. You have no idea who's on the other side of your words and your comments. So protect this house. Guard the positive energy. There are people, I'm telling y'all what I know. There are people looking at Apollo Inu. I'm talking about people in Hollywood. I'm talking about people, power players. They're seeing this disruptive technology invading their industry, art, entertainment, and creativity. And they're looking on Twitter, y'all, because where else are they going to go? They're looking at Telegram. They're looking at our platforms. And the culture we create will push or draw them in, especially if we're branding ourselves as a community project, a community token. Well, those people are looking at our community. We've all been involved or seen toxic crypto communities. So the number 1 thing we can do is engage in positivity. Number 2, y'all, and this is important, is talk to people about Apollo Inu. That's how I got Neem here. And listen, number 3 is this. If you don't want to talk about Apollo Inu, if you feel odd about talking to people, your parents, your family, your neighbors about a token, that's completely fine. But you know what you can do? You can share an episode of the Apollo Inu show. You can hit the retweet button. You can hit the heart button. You can drop a positive comment so the algorithm starts picking up this content and pushing it out to planet Earth. And so there are microscopic things that will cost you almost nothing that you can do. Because here's the bottom line, y'all. If my show doesn't have thousands of subscribers, views, and engagement, the advertiser's not interested in putting up money, right? But if we have a robust community, like I've built with the HenokCrypto platform, if we have a positive community, if the comments are engaging, if the views are there, if the subscribers and the followers are there, well, that's the metric that these companies use to determine whether or not they're going to hand us a $100,000 check to advertise that month. Let me ask you a question. What could a $100,000 advertiser's check do to our chart? What could a $500,000? Y'all saw, I put out a tweet 2 months ago. I've literally shown y'all companies that have offered me $500,000. I put that out on Twitter a couple months ago. Offered me $500,000 to engage with their project because they see the value of the followers and the community that I've created. I'm looking to do the same thing here with the Apollo Inu platform. If we can generate ad revenue, take the profit, buy token, burn token, it's going to increase all of our bags. And how you can help is participating, engaging, staying positive, following, retweeting, and subscribing. So I just wanted to, share my idea, our team's idea with you, let you know we are here. As someone who's extremely vocal and visible in our community, I'm going to do everything in my power to help us grow. And one last comment, I'm going to yield the floor to Matt. This is an amazing time to be in crypto. You will have people 3 years from now, 2 years from now, say to you, remember I said this, they will say to you, man, I wish I was in crypto back in summer of 2022 when Bitcoin crashed, when everything was down, because it's harder to lose money when you get in at the bottom. And guess what? You're here. You are here. And there's a lot of institutional money and a lot of people looking to get in and put their money somewhere. And my bet is they're going to put their money in a project led by a dev team that have decades of experience leading projects, successfully getting through turbulent times. I mean, MJ's, I call Matt Johnson MJ, Michael Jordan the GOAT. But, MJ has been through the 90s. He's been through the 2000, tech bubble crash. He's been through 08. These people are battle tested. It's not a 19-year-old kid behind a keyboard in Amsterdam creating a token who's not doxxed. Nothing wrong with that guy in general, but this is a different type of caliber of leadership. Look how positive and encouraging this community is. Look at the utility. Look at the viral component built into the structure of the smart contract. The idea that an artist and a creative gets funding for their dream and their vision. You don't think they're going to talk about that on their Instagram? You don't think they're going to share that with their neighbors? I just got 10 grand. I just got 20 grand. I just got, it could be a day where, a lot more money is being distributed every single week. There's a viral component attached to this. So when people see the AB family linking arms with Apollo Inu, when they see the leadership team that we have, when they see guys like me, Henok, who has, Damon John from Shark Tank and Odell Beckham Jr. and all kinds of people, talking with me, meeting with me and hanging out with me and engaging on social media and in person. When they see all these things coming together, they're going to say to themselves, okay, there's something beautiful happening here. And not only that, we're going to generate revenue and buy back token and burn it anyway. So if no one else wants to, if no one else does anything outside of what's being done right now, that's an opportunity for us to grow the project. And so I hope this is encouraging. I just want to share with you what I'm doing, what my team is doing, but I need your help. And I can't do this without you. So subscribe, like, follow, get the word out, get people to watch the show. You're not telling them to buy the token. You saw episode 1. I'm not telling people go buy the token. We're exposing the value of the token and it'll speak for itself. So that's all I wanted to share with y'all.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, first of all, thank you, Henok, on behalf of myself and the community. We started this with this mission of kind of humility and sharing this journey with those that kind of shared like minds and like values of wanting to help people. And I think taking the reign of that and saying, I can structure my business in a way that benefits everyone. That's really our mantra is we think everyone can win here, whether you're a community member or a stakeholder as an investor or stakeholder as a creator or a voter. I think there's opportunities that we're designing and building here for everyone. So I think that's amazing what you're doing. A couple questions, maybe just between us before we open up the floor. But, I love what you're doing. We're at that stage right now where that wheel is just starting to turn and we're fighting against all the, things that are external to us that we can't control and really trying to listen and build on the community. And going out and finding these great talents is kind of paramount right now. And I know you and your team have been focused on how do we bring those people in. I'm curious if you have any plans for once like Morgan, who was just awarded the first prize from the first beta week. Do you plan on following up with them? One thing that I love about Shark Tank is just this idea of you see the pitch, you see the award and the feedback that the Sharks give them. But then where are they later? I want to see what they did with the money. I want to see, how they're growing their careers. Do you have any designs or thoughts on that, on the follow-ups?
Yeah, it's something that I think would be incredibly good, quality. It's a quality, beautiful thing to add to our show. One of the things we're going to do with our show is we don't want to reinvent the wheel. I'm connected to Damon John from Shark Tank. And so I met with him, right? And we talk about Shark Tank. And so I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel with the show that I'm creating. And that is a great component. And so absolutely, you're going to see follow-ups weekly. So, hopefully Neem wins. So far, he's doing great. He's rallying his community as well. Got a few people from his community investing. And so hopefully he wins this next week. And, he's episode 1 for me. And so to be able to capture his, story of, hey, you just won 10 grand. How does it feel? And then even another video thereafter, 2, 3, 4, 5 months when he's done with the visuals. That's what he's going to use the money for, is the visuals for his project. I want to do another follow-up on the other side of what he does with the money as well. And so that's definitely in the works as well.
Great. Yeah, and my hope is, as we talked a little bit technically on some of the design directions for building queues for artists, to submit at any time. And then, they get queued in or slotted in for a contest to avoid this overlap of nominating and voting at the same time. But, I hope we get to the point where, every week we have 10 to 20 great creatives that are in the space. You may have, reached out and brought in some, but, there might be ones of interest too out of the communities that come in from external sources that we can highlight and, bring attention to as well. Because, I think you're right. Those networks, when they get fully engaged, understand the value of that, and they have an outlet that even if they didn't come in through your channel, but have potential to get picked up by your channel, that's a great incentive for a creator to come in and participate in the ecosystem. Because like we've always said, the funding is one component, but the passion of the vision here is that we build, support and community around creatives to get the feedback, the pitch practice, the support that they really need outside of even the financial side. So I love your idea for that alone. But it would be great to, kind of see how that broadens as, more and more creators come in from, as independents or from external sources as well.
Yeah, I know it'll take time because a lot of these, like even when I was talking to Neem, explaining a DeFi wallet and explaining swapping Apollo Inu for ETH, and even Ethereum was new to him. So like a lot of these guys and gals have no idea about our space, and you guys remember what it was like when you first got in,
Sure.
how difficult it was. And so, they're experiencing that too. But I'll tell you what, there's going to be a tipping point in the coming months. I don't think it'll be days. I don't think it'll be weeks, but in the coming months where there's a tipping point where artists and creatives are chit chatting and talking with one another. Hey, you looking for 10 grand to do that? Hey, go check out Apollo Inu. This is a guy enough.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. And we're working constantly. I'm getting some feedback now. We're working constantly on ways to reduce that friction also for getting people in. We recognize that's one of the top challenges for a creative when they come in. They want to leverage their networks and say, hey, go get this crypto, buy a relatively small amount of it, and then come support us. By the way, there's 15 steps to be able to get it. So I'm working with a couple groups like MoonPay and some others that are in that space where you can embed right into the website the ability to maybe purchase at least ETH and swap it there for Apollo, or buy Apollo directly if we can get listed with them. That will remove a lot of that friction, as well as our ongoing conversations with these exchanges, which always help, especially if it's a bigger exchange that's tied to their own DeFi wallet and things like that. So we're working the problem on different fronts from that stage, but access we recognize this, and I think that's an industry-wide challenge. It's like, how do we create the educational tools and create all the partnerships that we need to make sure that people get into it as easily as possible. But that's where the community can help as well. I love that you touched on the idea of like there's multiple ways to support. It's not only about helping someone buy and get into it, but we're trying to create this wide swath of opportunity to say, hey, sharing videos, liking videos, watching videos, doing that kind of stuff drives up those metrics that attract the right sponsors, the right people that are going to support this community into your great idea about how does that revenue then support us directly as investors. So that's what we want to do with the whole community, whether it's educating people on how to get in, because you've been there and you've gone down that path and you can raise your hand and support in that way, whether it's helping through your channel and support some of the engagement through media, or whether it's, just sitting down with someone on a Sunday afternoon and saying, let me teach you a little bit about blockchain and crypto. I'm literally, tomorrow is the 1-year anniversary from the first time I bought crypto. It was May 13th of last year. If I think about just the journey and, all the people that I've engaged with and supported along the way and getting there, it's only been a year. So, we are really just at the beginning of this, and it's kind of incumbent on anyone in a nascent market to say, you are an educator, whether you like it or not, that you have a role as an educator. So I just want to continue to see this community stay positive and grow with that mindset of not, where is this for me? And it's okay to ask this question. I'm not saying like, us, we try to be transparent and keep you abreast of everything that's happening. But at the same token is, when you see something on the Trello board or you hear us talking about something like that, think about your network, think about your, what you could do to kind of help solve that problem, because we really want to be the first token that fully leans into true decentralization and builds this through a community, as opposed to being this one group that's, we've seen the challenges over the last couple of weeks with, singular groups and centralized organizations that have too much control and have too much, voice and say in something. And it needs that diversity. It needs that balance for us to achieve the ultimate goal of scaling to where we want to get. So I'll get off my rant. I'll get off my soapbox now. And, if you got anything else, fire away, or we can open it up to any questions.
Yeah. Last thing before Q&A is, this is just an idea that came out of our corporation, but I guarantee there's somebody in here who can come up with something else, something great, something that can help us. So I hope all of you engage not only in the portfolio of crypto, but also the business of crypto, launching organizations and such, but or platforms to help our project grow. There's a lot of money that we've all invested into this, and this is I'm telling y'all. I got into crypto. I bought my first Bitcoin in 2017, but I only got serious about trading and investing in crypto last May when Doge and Shiba did what they did before the crash. So it's only been about a year for me too, my man, and which is crazy. But I'm just telling y'all, a day in crypto is a week is a month is a year is a decade. That's kind of how it feels. And so when I say it, in my 1 year of being in crypto and the thousands of hours that I've spent in crypto at this point, I've never seen anything like Apollo Inu. That's why I'm so crazy about it. That's why my team is crazy about it. That's why I'm talking to Damon John and Snoop and others about it. I mean, we've never seen anything like a dev team with this strong of a resume, the utility, the viral component built in that'll get people chirping as they, earn and as they build their projects out and chase their dreams. A community that's extremely positive at this point. We got to protect it. And so I just think that we have a really unique opportunity, and now the market is low enough to draw in people that have just been hesitant, guys. We are in a special moment, but again, it's going to take all of us rolling up our sleeves.
Awesome. Really appreciate it. Share your vision as well, man. So, any questions? Anyone want to hop in and ask either Henok or myself anything about this unique business model plan that he's got around the show? Happy to answer any questions.
Hey, Nick, I have a question. Just a really basic, but it's just because I don't quite understand it. If the Apollo Inu ad money, the profit technically buys the token, who technically owns that Apollo that is bought? Is that? Can you explain it? I know you tried to, and I didn't quite follow it. Can you explain it again?
Yeah. So at the moment of purchase, the HenokCrypto Corporation owns the token, but the second that I send all those tokens, to the burn address, it's gone forever.
And I imagine there'll be some kind of event, and obviously all the transactions are on the blockchain and have, an ID to them that could be shared. So, I mean, it's completely auditable, just like everything else that both these groups are doing.
Yeah, you'll be able to see it. I'm certainly going to make, y'all know me, I make videos about everything in life. And so I will make a spectacle of whenever we buy, $25, $50, $100,000 worth of Apollo and literally burn it. It's going to be nuts.
And that 25, that will directly affect the chart, correct? Obviously, just like any other purchase.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I mean, I don't know why it wouldn't. Just like anytime you put 1,000 in there, we see it.
Yep. Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. Anyone else? Ideas, questions, thoughts, rants?
Yeah, I have a question. Would it be better to send the money to the Creator Fund wallet, or why the Burn wallet versus that fund?
I mean, it's a matter of Matt. Go ahead, Matt.
No, I think you could look at it a lot of different ways, whether it's Reflection, the DAO wallet. I think that there's already a great amount of potential to kind of tether the amounts that we want to give away at first that is coming in through the 1% tokenomics of the coin. Obviously, that gets triggered by any time that he's going to make a transfer of that wallet. So it's going to, that purchase is going to trigger that anyway. We just felt like, hey, the long-term value of the token is really about the amount of supply that remains. So while it's targeted at burn right now, there might be some unique thing that we route through the DAO that would benefit more, where we want to throw it into the DAO. But we feel like we got a good balance of business model of the funds that come into the DAO currently.
Okay. No, thank you. And then, Henok, I was looking at Neem's Instagram, and I didn't see anything on there about, voting for Apollo or like advertising that, go vote for me or anything like that. I don't know if that's something you could talk to him about. But I just looked at it and I didn't see anything on there about it.
Yeah, you probably missed it. So he did post on Instagram stories, which is what he's committed to me, being on the Apollo News show. He's not under contract. He doesn't have to do any of this. I sold him on it. He's very unfamiliar with crypto, skeptic actually, before I came along. And so, you might have missed it, yesterday. He did post his story, but it's been well over 24 hours since he did that. He did that right when he submitted to be a candidate.
Okay,
Are you familiar with stories? Yeah, stories
Yeah.
Goes away after 24 hours. Okay.
Yeah, and I think there's been some questions about just obligations and what we can and can't do in terms of these creators, and we're feeling that out. We're obviously we're only a few months in here and just launched the product a little over a week ago, but there's complexities to having contractual obligations with all these, and it's really not scalable even for what we're talking about doing here. It's really leaning on the idea that they're forced into mature production of their pitch due to competition that comes in. So as more and more mature and driven creative individuals that learn about the platform and come into it, it will naturally up the game. And to set themselves apart, they're going to have to draw that in. So it's not like a magic bullet that in week 3, 4, 5 that, everybody's going to go out and tweet to their networks and all of a sudden it's going to create this mass viral phenomenon that draws other people in. But over time, we can see how the network and the math will work that way. It's just about kind of coming up with ideas of like what Henok has done here and thinking, oh, wow, that's another way that we can draw people in. Let's have a show. Let's have something that they can surround themselves with content between. Because I've been in so many tokens so far and telegrams, and like literally it's just people talking about whatever and wondering when the token value is going to go up, and they just regurgitate the same things over and over again. I really want this rich, vibrant ecosystem of people who have things to talk about. What happened on the show this week? Oh, I liked him, but man, I don't know about what he said about whatever. I'm gonna go vote for this other candidate. If we could really build that into the tapestry of what we're doing, we have this kind of content engine that people are just going to want to be attached to. We're going to get more Discord people. We're going to get more Telegram people just because they want to be engaged in not only a great token, but they want to be engaged in kind of a running media narrative that's happening. So I think that'll come over time, and I think it's hard in this space for people to have patience for sure. We're not patient people either, so we get it. But I think that you just got to keep focused on the vision of, we know these are the right activities. We know these have worked over and over again through down markets, through up markets, and we don't get discouraged by it. We wake up, we know what we need to do every day, and we just keep grinding on that. And I think over time that will show people like, yeah, that's reliable, that's stable. That's what we want to be a part about. Now let's inject the exciting into it. And that's where I lean on guys like Henok. I'm not the most exciting guy in the world. That's okay.
You're all right.
Thank you guys so much.
Sure. Anyone else? Questions? Rare opportunity here.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hey, this is Corey. I got no questions. I just wanted to express my gratitude and appreciation for you guys. Got a lot of love and respect for all of you guys. Very much appreciate it. So thank you.
Yeah, appreciate that, Corey. Keeps us moving.
Grateful for you, Corey. I see your tweets. I see you in the comments on IG, my guy. And I just can't thank you enough for your contribution to this incredible community.
Awesome. Well, if nobody else, Henok, you got anything, parting shots, anything that you want to add? And I love this. I mean, we should start, just whether it's your house or mine, maybe, do a weekly thing where we could just open it up and talk to people about this crossover strategy, because this is the kind of thing that I think elevates us here. And it's, just living in our silos, can only go so far. But I think this is just about awareness. The more and more people we get to understand not only the crypto space and getting comfortable with that, but understanding that we got a true utility that's meant to help people, that's going to be a magnet. And I think these are great conversations to have.
I love it. I love helping.
Can I throw out one last question? Is that all right?
Yeah, go ahead.
One last question?
Of course, for sure.
Just because at the basic sense, this is such a pure idea for people who are really trying to be creators, right? At the basics of this, like I told you, Matt, my twin brother will be on this shortly. He's a sterling musician that's trying to do this all day long. So from that standpoint, it's so pure. The mission's so great that I would think that some of these musicians that have made it, that have incredible followers, that have incredible reach, would resonate with this idea. And I hope that they would want to do that in a give back mentality, that, hey, like, this is something that's modern age version of, something maybe that helped me along the way, that, they didn't have a crypto, and, crypto can be scary, but the idea of it, from the purity of it, it's so simple. People are helping people to hopefully help them as well. Like, it is very simple from that standpoint. And I just didn't know if you guys had some luck, or if that was too early to reach out to some of these guys who have a story that's comparable to this, and that might help spread the word deeper or further reach.
Yeah, great question. I'll touch on it real quick, then throw it off to Henok. I know he's done a lot of work on the celebrity side as well, and some of his connections. But yeah, I think to me it's mainly about traction with those guys. I mean, every celebrity is going to want to get behind something, but they've got to see something first. The idea is great, and everyone we talk to, and I imagine Henok would echo this, is like, yeah, great idea. We love it. We want to support it. We also want to see how hard your team works, and how you can get something to, a certain point, before we throw our full weight about it. And you imagine they get thousands of people a week that are probably asking them for endorsement and support. But that's the grand vision for really what I'm calling DAO 3.0 after we bring this first bad boy out of beta, is the idea that we have what I talked about, these kind of genre specific or segmented contests that are running concurrently. And then having some kind of support from an expert or experienced individual in that field to support, like music or, fine arts, content making for YouTube, whatever the major categories might be. And maybe even like a weekly call where all the creators can get on and they can give some inspirational talk to. And I think once we have that legitimacy plus that structure where we can just say our marketing team can reach out to, and say, hey, Henok knows everybody. Let's go to him. Now, the guy in music, could come over here and talk to this specific group or subgenre or whatever we segmented it as. I think that's where the power would come. I think they're just looking at, hey, how much traction can we gain first before they fully commit to that? But interested to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, the conversations you've experienced and had are similar to the ones that I've had with, the celebrities and the megastars. I was on the phone with one last week, and he told me, I cannot, at this point in my career, put my name on anything that's not a for sure W. It has to be a win. I cannot afford to fail in my career at this point. I can't be perceived as someone that, fails or gets engaged with anything that's a failure. And so Apollo Inu, we all know, is a winner, but we got to see it happen. So it's really, really early. We just had our first vote complete. We're in beta, really, really early. And so there's going to be this moment, I call it the tipping point, where we go from infancy to becoming something ubiquitous in the arts and entertainment industry, especially in Hollywood. It's that moment when we have 100,000 subscribers on YouTube and there's a massive audience watching, and the token holders continues to grow. Maybe it's that moment. Maybe it's a Justin Bieber moment. Maybe, one of y'all finds somebody, brings them into the ecosystem. They absolutely go viral and blow up. Maybe even somebody on the Apollo Inu show. Maybe one of our videos just completely goes viral because the way we shot the video and the story is so compelling. Y'all know how the internet is. You just never know what the algorithm pushes. And now Apollo goes viral. And so there's going to be a moment, it's that tipping point moment where Apollo is a surefire win, but it's evident. Right now, it's not as evident to the world yet. It will be. And that's a part of what I'm doing here is disseminating the narrative and the story of Apollo and these artists. So when that moment comes, you're going to see all these celebrities flood in because they love being early on a winner. But until they know for sure that it's a winner, and again, most of these guys are not in crypto. That's why they're meeting with me, right? They're not just meeting with me just because they don't know anything about crypto, NFT, blockchain, metaverse, or smart contract, and how it can be applied in business. So they're meeting with guys like me to learn. And so when I'm talking to Damon John, when I'm talking, even last week, I was talking to Damon John's team about Apollo, and like, they're like, dude, we get pitched every week on crypto projects or engaging, collaborating. We've come close to one, but we just, Damon at this point, because he's so new to the game, he's just going to sit back and watch until he knows that he can't get in trouble for it. We all saw what happened with Kardashian last year. And so for those reasons, y'all, what we're doing is extremely important. All the likes, follows, retweets, the eyeballs, sharing it, it's going to compound later.
Awesome. All right. Any final questions? And we'll wrap this and make a commitment. I can't say every week, but at a good interval, maybe we'll connect and have these kind of fireside chats. I think this is going great. Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you breaking down your strategy. Great call this morning as well on your channel. The first thing you can do, like everybody's always asking for what can I do to support the shill community that's come up. Let's get over to the show and let's support it, like it, share it with everyone in your network. Let's get it off on a good foot. And he's committed to make more content. And you guys have heard about what its ultimate benefit is on the value of the token. So let's continue to support that and all the people that are really building utility around our protocol or media around our protocol or whoever is looking to support it. That's the name of the game here. So. Thank you, Henok. Appreciate the time. Appreciate everyone in the community. And let's keep rocking on, man.
Thank you, MJ. And thank you, Apollo Inu community. Let's keep going. Let's keep growing.
All right. Love it. Y'all take care.